Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Chris Hardwick joining us here again, our adventurepreneur. Yes, that's what he does for a living. Chris Hardwick, inc.com, as an executive business coach, peer group, workshop coach, trainer, strategic offsite. He's also an author, a risk taker, an adventurer, and so much more. Speaker, and of course, CEO of Adventure Retreats. You are a man with many titles and many hats. Please introduce yourself to our listeners. Thank you.
Well, first of all, it's great to be here, Jill, and looking forward to another exciting conversation with you. Yeah, Chris Hardwick. I hail from Sydney, Australia, but I'm living in Vancouver, beautiful British Columbia right now. And yeah, you can get a hold of me on my website at chrishardwickinc.com or Google me at Chris Hardwick Leadership. But yeah, I'm all about adventure, Jill, and I'm all about business and bringing the two together as an entrepreneur and as an adventurepreneur. And recently, I decided that the term adventurepreneur best described who I am and the type of people I like to work with.
Oh, and by the way, I want to know how we can contact you right off the bat. Tell us.
Yeah, well, in addition to my Chris Hardwick leadership on Google and my website, chrishardwickinc.com, or you can email me at chris@chrishardwickinc.com, or give me a call, 778-836-8226. And I would love to have a conversation with you.
Beautiful. And we can start off today. I know you want to help us create this no BS vision for your life, right? What do you mean when it says to create a no BS? Can I say bullshit?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
Yes, we
pretty
can.
much what it stands for.
So,
I mean, I think the thing that a lot of people that I come across is they've got so ingrained in their day-to-day lives that they're kind of, a lot of people are, working for the man, and their lives have maybe gotten a little bit stale. Everybody I talk to is busy, busy, busy. Nobody's got time to have any fun anymore. It seems it's all about work and no play.
yeah,
And yeah, and I think what I have found is a lot of people have really given up on their dreams. I like to go back to when we were like 8 or 10 years old, right? And anything was possible. We could do anything, be anything, go anywhere. And during our teenage years, we're constantly getting told what we can and cannot do, more often what we can't do than what we can do, right? And a lot of our dreams get squashed. And then as we're in school, and now we've got to start thinking about a career, we've got to start thinking about going to university. Next thing you know, we're looking for a job. Then we're trying to build our career. And before we know it, we're getting married and having kids and getting a house. And what happened to those dreams we had when we were, a preteen and we were excited about the world?
yes.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to them? They got
People
squashed.
say life gets in the way, it's squashed. Yeah, things change, but why should they? Put us back on track.
Exactly. Why should they? So I like to empower people to come up with a vision for their life that is out there, that is a stretch, that is a big, hairy, audacious vision. And that's what I
Yeah.
call your no bullshit vision for your life. Like, let's stop kidding ourselves with the fact that we're happy, because so many people I meet are not happy
Yeah.
and they feel like they're just trapped in this current place that they're at. And that is what I talk about when I say, let's come up with a realistic plan for your life, something that excites you, something that gets you out of bed in the morning and gets you fired up about life, not going back to that ho-hum job or working for the man, right? Let's look at how to break the chains and create a vision for our life that gets us excited about life. So that's what I mean when I say a no bullshit vision.
Love it. And can you clarify, like tell us how the clarity of vision impact can really impact one's sense of purpose and direction?
Yeah, purpose is a really important word. What is it that truly at the core of our being is who we are. What do
Mm-hmm.
we love doing more than anything else? And again, I like to go back to when we were younger,
Yeah.
because often those things that excited us and those things that we really wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
we've sort of box them up, package them up, and put them away. I encourage people to look at what it is they actually love doing. What are they passionate about? What is it that really truly drives them as a purpose in their life? And more often than not, we can actually look at taking that purpose and turning that into an opportunity, turning that into a business. And maybe we start off doing it on the side, because we're still going to put
Mm-hmm.
food on the table. I get it. We've still got mouths to
Yeah.
feed. We've got kids to feed and college to deal with and
It's
all
so
of the
true.
expenses. But a lot of the time, we can identify something that we are truly passionate about, and we can figure out how to monetize that.
And
Yeah.
here we are. Well, let's talk about some of these steps that we have to, start. Where do we get these steps from? Help us articulate this vision.
Yeah, yeah. I just as I was saying, like, what is it that you are passionate about? And I know for myself that I'm really passionate about traveling. I'm really passionate about adventure. And that's because I get to meet people from all over the world and see things from all over the world. And, people think that that takes a lot of money. Well, it does if you want to go off and stay in five-star hotels and all that sort of stuff. But I like to just, when I was younger, grabbing a backpack and just hiking around and hitchhiking and exploring stuff. Like, it doesn't cost anything to go outside. It doesn't cost anything to go for a walk or go for a hike or even just, like go camping overnight or something. But these opportunities to get off into the wilderness or off into the parks and what have you are a great way for us to reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with nature, get some oxygen into our lungs. And I find it's in those moments where I get these moments of clarity and I get these thoughts that come flooding into my mind about the sorts of things that I could be doing with my life.
Yeah.
I grew up taking my kids, well, for myself, it was like getting into Cubs and Scouts and going off on these weekend trips.
Aw, love those.
But now,
Yes.
as I got older and I had a family of my own, I would take my boys off camping. And my wife and I and the kids, we'd go off camping on the weekends and we'd go
Aw,
hiking and stuff. And again,
yeah.
these things don't cost much money, but they allow us
Give
to
us the
get,
memories.
well, you create these incredible memories, but it allows us to get in
Mm-hmm.
touch with our own feelings and our own emotions and develop those relationships with our family and our close friends.
So true. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's
Well,
so
before
important.
it really is perfect time to take a quick break. We have to take one today. Would you mind sharing how we could reach out to you? And then we'll be right back with more.
Yeah, just Google me at Chris Hardwick Leadership or hit my website at chrishardwickinc.com. Love to schedule a call with you.
Okay, stay tuned. We'll be right back in under 2 minutes. Thank you, Chris.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-386-9945. 800-386-9945. 800-386-9945.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Have you ever sat in a room at your house and thought, there's so much more that this room could say about you? Your home should tell your story, and I want to help you tell it. Hi, my name is Rebecca Marks. I am the lead designer and owner of Blue Lily, an interior design company in Eastern North Carolina. I want to help you make your space your home, so contact me today at bluelilyspace.com.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Thank you again for listening and for being here today. If you're live on the Zoom, Chris Hardwick is here talking about his work as an adventurepreneur and all the inspiration that he's giving you today. And he was just talking about, his own family, the little trips, the little memories, the little things, right? And he has been an adventurepreneur basically his whole life. And today he's guiding us through it's, your turn to not take that BS, right? And to go for that vision that you've always had and just move forward and giving us some steps to ensure that our vision remains authentic and meaningful, right?
Yeah, it's so important. You touched on something, Jill, about memories, about creating memories. And I'm just going to share a quick story about an experience I had when I was probably about 13 or 14 years old. I was doing my Queen Scout Award in Australia where I grew up, and I had the opportunity to go in and interview 60 seniors between the ages of 65 and 104. And these were people that were living in 2 or 3 different seniors' homes, and I asked them a bunch of questions. I had to interview them and report back to my scout leader. And one of the questions, the last question I asked every one of them was, what is your fondest memory?
Mm-hmm.
And they would think and they would look up in the sky, and inevitably a smile would come across their face. And I would see them just light up. Their eyes would get bright. They would just have this happy face. And every single one of the 50 seniors I interviewed said the same thing. It was a significant event or family vacation. It was something with their family, something special. It could have been a wedding. It could have been a big birthday party or an anniversary or a trip away or a holidays or camping or anything like that. But virtually every single one of them said the same thing.
Amazing.
A significant event with family. In other words, it was a memory. It was a fond memory. And you made that comment about memories. And I think that is something that we have a responsibility to ourselves and to our own families, irrespective of where they might be, is to look at ways that we can create these memories where we will be able to share those experiences with our families. And maybe it's friends, if we don't have families, maybe it's a close friend or a group of close friends. How do we create memories doing something that is fun, that is positive, and is something that we are going to carry, for the rest of our lives? And so when I think about creating a no BS vision for our lives, I want it to include us creating these moments where we take intentional time to go off and have quality time with our family and friends. And, again, this doesn't need to cost any money. I went on a hike yesterday with my youngest son and one of his mates. It was a 3-hour hike up to some incredible waterfalls. Just, I'm fortunate to live in the part of the world I live. But I've lived here for over 30 years and I'd never been to these falls. And people keep telling me about how beautiful they were, but it's a bit of a hike to get there. It's about 2 hours to get to these falls. And when we got there, these spectacular falls cascading down these cliffs. There was several other people on the hike. And of course, we went in and we went cold plunging. It was icy cold, glacier fed water. And it was just so much fun. And I was looking through the photographs last night. And I know that for my son and for one of his old schoolmates that he hasn't seen for 7 years, like that was a really special time. And I heard, I just was walking behind them as we were hiking back to the car. And they talked about how, oh, we've got to get some of our old mates out from school and come back up and do this hike again. And it cost nothing, right? But it created this amazing memory. And so when we think about vision for our lives, let's create memories. What a wonderful vision and what a wonderful forward-looking idea to create these moments in our lives. That's kind of where I'm going with this, Jill.
Well, we appreciate that. And I think that's pretty amazing because I love this concept of memories and helping people, get what they want out of life. Life is so precious. And I know that's like one of your biggest things as an entrepreneur. It's like you got to do it, you got to go. But we do have some distractions, some setbacks, but we got to stay focused on that, right? And the whole concept of self awareness, you say, that really can help us create more of a meaningful vision.
Yeah, I was on Instagram just this morning. I only go on it for about 15 minutes every day. And one of my friends posted a vision about Steve Jobs when he was on his deathbed. And he died of cancer. I can't remember exactly
Ah,
which one. Might have been pancreatic cancer. Anyway, he's lying in his deathbed. And he kind of had a bit of a revelation. He said,
hmm.
you can get a
Oh,
$50 clock or
huh.
you can get a $500 clock, and they both tell the time. You can get a $2,000 car or a $250,000 car, and they both get you from A to B. Like, we can overcomplicate our lives sometimes. And we think that we've got to have all of these material things. And we think that success, and I can tell you, I've had the garage full of Audis. I've had multiple homes. I've had all these things that people strive for and they think that's what success looks like. And I can tell you, I don't have any of that stuff anymore. I'm
Wow.
way happier, way healthier.
Ah,
Life is very simple. My wife and I and our three boys, we just spend quality time together. We enjoy the backyard.
ah,
We enjoy going off on hikes and we'll go skiing and adventures and what have you and camping, bike riding trips. Like these are simple, simple pleasures that do
yeah.
not cost a lot of money, but they
Ah,
create this community. They create this family. They create this
ah,
health and wellness. And that is my vision for the people that are listening to this call and watching this call today, is that you will explore how to reset your life. And a lot of the things that you might think you need and you're striving for towards, I'd like to challenge you to hit the reset button on a few of these things. My kids were awesome at calling me out on it. Like they're like, Dad, why do you need three vehicles? Well, I got my pickup truck for, heading
mm-hmm.
down to the hardware shop. I've got my sports car for when I want to go for a nice drive. And then
Yeah.
I got my, sedan for getting around town sort of thing. And they're like, Dad, just get one vehicle. And now I drive around in a Subaru Crosstrek that does everything, right? Like
See?
just, yeah, it's just simple things that we can do uh, in our lives to really keep focused on the vision for our lives. I call it the no bullshit vision.
I love
Get
it.
rid of all the crap, get rid of all the BS, just focus on being happy, healthy, and creating memories.
I love it. You couldn't have said it better. It's so true. Like with my 7 and 9-year-old, I love doing little excursions, little trips, making memories. It's not about, the money. We don't have millions of dollars at all. We don't even have a million, but to do these things, but we do little vacations here and there to bring amazing memories. We just did North,
Yeah.
South Carolina. We're going to do hopefully Vermont this weekend to go visit a friend who's getting married, but the drive of going, is 7, 8 hours in a car is memorable. And it's simple. Yeah, we can't afford all the airfare, but we could drive and make memories with it along the way. So let me ask, and I love how you just mentioned that you and your own family have reassessed and refined your vision over time. So like there was a point where, you wanted those cars, you wanted those nice things. And what was it for you that made you realize, wait, I don't need this? What was the turning point?
Well, I will tell you, I was running 6 businesses,
Oh
and
gosh.
like I say, we had 4 houses and tons of expensive German cars, and I realized I was trying to keep up with the Joneses. I
Yeah.
realized I had friends, they had the latest Porsche, they had a big house up at Whistler on the ski hill, they had a beautiful
Yeah.
cabin up on the lake on Lake Okanagan, and I got home from work one day, and my wife said to me, when did it all become about money?
Ah,
And it stopped me in my tracks. And I'm like, it's not all about money. It's about success. And she's like, no, it's all about money. It's
mm,
all about things. It's all about possessions. And that's not
ah,
who you were. That's not how our relationship started when we got married back in 1989. And we just celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary. And I tell you, she stopped me in my tracks. And I got defensive. I started to defend myself. And then, I stopped and I
wow.
listened to what she was saying. And we sat down and we had a conversation about it. And that was when we decided to hit the reset button. And that was the beginning of starting to remove myself from a lot of these things that I thought I had to have. What the heck did I need 6
Yeah.
businesses for? And I have no businesses today. And I spend my time helping my clients, who most of them are, entrepreneurs, they're successful business people, but they're going down a similar path that I was going. They're trying to surround themselves with possessions,
Yeah.
worldly goods, material goods, houses, these expensive vacations. We just don't need it. What
Yeah.
we need to do is spend time with our loved ones, creating memories, just like you said with your two. You have sons or
Yeah.
daughters?
2 sons. Yeah. They're 7 and 9.
2 boys. Well, welcome to the boy club, because I'm one of 3 boys and I have 3 boys. And
Wow.
they're 24, 26, and 29 now. And 2 of them have moved to Australia, which is where I'm from. And they did that because they had an opportunity to live there for a few years when they're in their teenage years. And they're like, Dad, it's pretty chill in Australia. You can get a
Yeah.
travel in and you don't lose your job.
Oh my
You get
gosh, my camera
like
fell again.
6
Sorry.
weeks a year holidays,
That's amazing.
instead of 2 weeks
Yes.
a year holidays. So if for them it was a lifestyle choice,
Yeah.
and the weather's nicer, and it's not as cold as it is in parts of North
Ah.
America, and they're just living the dream.
Oh my goodness.
So
So
anyone,
inspirational.
yeah.
And we still have some more time left, and there's those more. We always end up digressing, which is fine. But what about some common pitfalls to avoid when creating this vision, and how can accountability partners or mentors help us stay true to this vision?
Yeah, if you don't have an accountability partner in your life, you are really missing out, really. And that is what I do for a lot of my clients and my friends and my
Yeah.
family as well. We get together every year and we put together a simple thing like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is called my vision board. It's an annual thing that we do.
Okay.
This one-page plan. I'm just holding it up for the viewers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see that. It's really simple. I just break it down into my top 3 goals for the year. So I have 3
So you have a
categories.
vision board. I love
I
this.
have a vision board. That's my one from last year, that's a picture of Kilimanjaro, which I climbed last
Oh
year.
my goodness.
This one for 2024 has a
Wow.
picture of Mount Kenya on it, which I'm hoping to climb next month, or at least maybe check it out. It's really simple. It's just I use it as a goal setting tool. And I also have a bunch of vision boards. I won't show all of those up. But every year I get an 11 by 17 piece of paper and a bunch of colored pens. So I grab a bunch of colored markers like this. See these?
Yeah.
Whole bunch of colored marking pens. And I visualize what I want my life to look like in 10 years.
Amazing.
I draw what I call a vision board or a vivid vision. There's lots of
Yeah.
different names for it. And that I only draw stuff on there that I imagine, how old are my kids going to be? How old am I going to be? My wife, what sorts of things what do we want our life to look like in 10 years? And in 10 years, you can transform your life. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to achieve everything, in the next week or in the next month. But if you have a long-term plan and you build annual goals to get yourself there, you will be able to live that life of your dreams. And I don't care what you draw, it is achievable. It is achievable. But you do need an accountability partner.
Got it. Thank you. Not all of us have that. So you are that person, Chris. How do we reach out to you?
Yeah, you can just Google me at Chris Hardwick Leadership. Check out my website. There's a link on there to schedule a 15-minute call with me at chrishardwickinc.com. I mean, just give me a call if you want. 778-836-8226. That's 778-836-8226. Or email me, chris@chrishardwickinc.com. Really easy.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. Looking forward to the next time we connect. Great getting to see you here live on the Zoom as well. And thank you for sharing your own personal journey with us as well, and how, you're making things possible and how you've changed your mindset over the years and realized the value and what's important in life. So thank you for teaching others this. It's amazing. It's inspiring, Chris. And I'm living in your footsteps. Okay.
Oh, you can live in your own, Jill.
But thank you for inspiring me as well. All right. I got to make some more post-its of my vision boards. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.